Shalom, shalom. This is Mayael Ben Yah. And I just want to get straight to the point and say to my melanated brothers and sisters, stop calling each other niggers and bees. You cannot call yourself trying to take back a term that you never addressed each other by. We never called each other niggers and bees until we came up under the oppression of slavery and white supremacy. So there's no way you could take back terms that was directed towards us by our oppressors, by our slave masters, and talk about you trying to take it back. How can you take back something that you never possessed and used towards one another? How can you now try to make it a term of endearment and love when that is not its origin? I issue a challenge to my brothers and sisters. For 30 days, stop using the term nigger, nigga, the B word for a month. Address one another as your brother and your sister. Or you could say, hey, my queen, king, or prince. Or just simply address them by their names. But stop using terms that was always directed towards us for insult and hatred. Stop trying to take something back that you never used towards one another. That's my point. This is me just expressing my opinion. But I am striving, have been making great strides at it, not to use the word. Because my brothers, there's no reason to address you as that term. Because there's other names I could call you if I talk about you're my friend or you're my pal, you're my homie or whatever. But I definitely did not have to call you nigger or nigga. There's no reason for it. Said that we choose to use derogatory terms towards one another because that's what we grew up off of. That's how the media shows it. That's how it's written in our literature. And this is just something that we choose to embrace, but we do not have to choose to embrace it. And as addressing our women, there's no way in the world, if you had common sense, you will dare address your mother with the B term, or address your sister with the B term if you had common sense. You had any kind of form of compassion for your family members. I remember back in the day, we didn't even use terms like that to address one another way back in the day when we had common sense, when we had respect for one another, when we walked with respect in our community towards one another, towards our elders and our peers. That have eroded over the decades. That we purely lost our minds and operate with no common sense at all. So for in times past, in my ignorance, and I was just plain immature and not yet a man, I want to apologize for when I use them terms. Because now since I have matured and I have come to understand, there's no place for it. Period. Trying to talk about you trying to use something for as a term of endearment and to take back power. How you gonna take back a word that you never used towards one another until you came up under white supremacy and racism? It was never a term of endearment that we used towards one another. Excuse me. So let's just let it go. And just find other terms that we could use that represents a proud people, that represents our ancestry of a proud melanated people that were kings and queens, rulers and noblemen, plain, common, decent folk. So I don't have to address you as the N word and the B word and then try to flip it and make it a term of endearment towards one another. That's silliness. Just expressing my opinion on it. I choose not to use it because it's a smack in our people's face. Our ancestors got hung on trees, lynched, pulled apart by horses and tractors, and beaten to death. With the last ability they had to hear was hearing them terms thrown at them, that they was dirty bees and black nasty nigger. As they were being shot, lynched, burned, castrated. Those were they got to hear right before they died. So now for them they would literally turn over in their graves, and they knew now that their descendants are embracing such terms that they will never embrace, that they never embraced, that they died because of such terms being lashed at them because they were seen as animals. And now to know that their descendants is embracing something as a term of endearment that they never would have, that they never would have handled. So it's just something to think about. I don't know why you just cannot walk up to me and I to you and address you as my brother, my sister. What's up, King? And to the young men, what's up, Prince? To the elderly women, Queen. To the younger princes. What's wrong with terms like that? I don't see anything wrong with it. I think it's far better than what we have been hearing within our black community. And I think it's time that we stop. As I said, I issue a challenge. Stop using such terms like this for 30 days. Because the logic behind this is some scientists and people that did a study said if you do something for 30 days, you create a new habit. So it might be possible while you take on this challenge, you might realize you can go past 30 days because you created a new habit which is positive for the black community, to stop addressing each other in terms that is no good for us, and it does not empower us as a people. So this is your brother Mayael Ben-Yah, and I just wanted to speak my mind. Shalom.